And Dr. Daniels, thank you for hosting us here today, for allowing us to come and be at this great facility. Every time I come here, it seems like you're building a new building. You're graduating another couple of thousand young Texans to join the workforce, welcoming another world-class researcher to your facility. Right behind us in this laboratory, UT Dallas is reflecting of that extraordinary vision of getting things right. Whether it's training a young man like Gabriel Vaughn, who just scored the nation's top score in the CPA test, came from this university, doing what it takes to lure a world-class researcher like Dr. Yves Chabal, whose lab sits right behind us. UT Dallas is that extraordinary, fine research institution that makes Texas the most competitive state in the nation. As you know, people keep score. Whether it's University of Texas baseball team keeping score last night as they move towards a national championship, or whether it is people keeping score with how many Tier 1 institutions you have in your state. And that's okay. There have been people who have been concerned that we don't have enough Tier 1 institutions in this state. And I shared that concern. I pushed for innovative approaches to fund facilities like the one that we are in, staffing groundbreaking research. We've done that with initiatives like the Emerging Technology Fund, with the Texas Enterprise Fund. This cutting-edge building that we're in right now is the result of that public-private partnership with the TIF involvement. Thanks in part to ETF funds, the lab behind us hosts a renowned nanotechnologist, an individual who, out of this lab, will come world-changing technologies, wealth-creating technologies, discoveries that will transform an entire industry. UT Dallas may not be an official Tier 1 school, or what you'd refer to call a national research university, but I'd compare what you're doing at this university on par with any school in America. That said, we need to continue our state's march. We need to continue our state's march towards an academic dominance that not only matches, but exceeds our economic lead, that continues to add to the economic power that this state is exhibiting today by preparing that future workforce, by making discoveries that can fuel future industries, jobs, life-saving products. You see, House Bill 51 that these very capable legislators passed, it accelerates us to that destination. It gives us a clear roadmap for our emerging research facilities as we head to the next level. Laying here on this desk is a pretty simple looking piece of paper, but it represents a remarkable collaborative effort between a hard-working group of legislators and academic leaders from a number of our institutions. These leaders are expected to fight for every possible advantage for their schools. I understand that. On Thanksgiving, I don't get confused about who I'm rooting for. Or when we come to Lubbock, Larry, I don't get confused about who I'm rooting for. I understand that these people really fight for their institutions, but they set all that aside. They set all of that aside to find a plan that's good for our entire state. That's one of the reasons I wanted to come today and say thank you. Thank you for understanding the power of the synergy of what you have done together. This plan gives the leaders of our emerging research institutions a clearly marked path to certification and ties funding to key accountability measures, like procurement of matching funds, the attainment of key measures like degrees actually awarded instead of just students enrolled. If our citizens approve this funding mechanism in the fall when they vote on the constitutional provision in HJR 14, then we're off to the races, folks. When schools meet the requirements of this legislation, they'll have access to the resources they need to really move the ball forward, continue moving our state into the next upper echelon, a place that I tell people the Lone Star State truly belongs in. So, as we say thank you to these legislators and thank you to these private sector partners who have made today a possibility. You got a great picture, didn't you? I'm a conservative senator.